Welcome to the Everyday Epigenetics Raw, Real, Relatable podcast. We're your hosts, Susan Robbins, certified epigenetic human performance coach,
and Kate King, licensed psychotherapist, board-certified art therapist, and award-winning author. Together, we bring two perspectives, two styles, and one shared passion for epigenetics.
On this podcast, we delve into topics such as environment, nutrition, fitness, mindset, social dynamics, and trauma as they pertain to epigenetic expression in a way that's relatable to everyone.
We recognize that everyone's needs are unique. There are no one-size-fits-all solutions for your mind, body, and heart. The true magic lies within you.
So if you're ready to create a radiant life through epigenetics and reclaim your authentic self, then buckle up. Here we go. Welcome to the Everyday Epigenetics Raw, Real, Relatable podcast. We are your co-hosts. I'm Susan Robbins, and I am here with my lovely co-host,
Kate King. And today, Susan's going to talk about sugar and where it's hiding in your diet.
Thank you, Sugar. Thanks, Sugar. Yeah, not just where I'm going to give you a bunch of information on sugar. I actually used to do a talk for doctors' offices on sugar because people think it's candy, ice cream, soda, but they don't realize where sugar actually is and how much sugar is in things. So I'm going to teach you how to read a label. And trust me, it is going to be a WTF moment when you start looking at some of your labels. I always say, I love detective work and I love to be like a food detective. And so I try to teach my clients to be that food detective. Of course, we want most of our foods to be whole foods, right, as they are. Veggies, low glycemic fruits, the things in the outside of the supermarket, your proteins. It's when we get in the center aisles and some around the dairy aisles and the quote healthy aisles where we have all the energy drinks, the green drinks, the juices. This is going to be where your big eye openers are because you think these are the healthy aisles. You're going to be shocked. Start reading some labels. The real foods don't tend to have those labels, so we don't have to worry about those, right? So when we look at packaged items, this is where the biggest issue is. So if you look under carbohydrates, people are so afraid of carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are not bad. They're not the enemy. We want the right carbohydrates for the individual. Go to the carbohydrate section. Underneath carbohydrates, you will see sugars. You'll also see added sugars. When you look down at the ingredients, it's listed. Your list of ingredients starts with what is contained most, and then it peters down to what the least amount is in there. And you'll see that sometimes something can be labeled as such and such, and it's like one of the last things on the list because there's so much other shit before it. Like, let's just be blunt. So, and a lot of the times you're going to see sugar or forms of sugars that are going to be up at the top of that list. Even if they're down the bottom of the list, you don't know how much is in there. So go up to the label, carbohydrates, sugars. When I see added sugars and they're like about the same number as the total sugars in there, that's an alarm. Okay, because that's gonna be pretty high because that's sugar that was added in there. I like to see like little to no added sugars. Then you want to look at the grams of sugar. Here's your WTF moment. For every 4 grams of sugar, it's 2 teaspoons. Now, you're like, that's...
Imagine just sucking down 2 teaspoons of
sugar.
And for some things, it's like for every 5 pieces, like those like cashew clusters that are so delicious from Costco. It's like, those are so sugary for 5 pieces. So now
little pieces.
Yeah.
Now's where I'll blow your mind a little bit more. So people think, oh, I'm eating yogurt. That's super healthy. And they'll go get like a fruit flavored yogurt. And they say it's got the fruit at the top. Okay, look at the labels. A Yoplait, and I used to take this cup of Yoplait. God knows it was old at the time. There was always going to take that top off of it. But I would take this cup of Yoplait flavored yogurt. It had, oh shoot, I want to, now I could be wrong because it's been a while and I don't do yogurt, so I don't have any here, but it was like 36 grams of sugar in the tiny cup of Yoplait. Divide that by four. So you're eating, right? 9 teaspoons of sugar in that little cup of yogurt. Another thing you have to be careful of with yogurt, well, I eat the plain. It tastes pretty good. You have to make sure it says plain unsweetened. I made the mistake many years ago of buying plain, and I'm going, I never had a plain yogurt that tasted this good. And then you look at the ingredients, number one, there's sugar right up there. And it had a boatload of sugar. So when you're doing yogurt, thing like that flavored, put your own fresh fruit in there. And you would do better to drizzle. Now, I'm not talking a teaspoon, I'm talking a drizzle of something like raw honey, which actually has some health benefits to it. Now, if you do have issues with blood sugar, glucose, insulin, that's probably not the way you want to go. If you tolerate stevia, monk fruit, depending on what your typical jam is, you're going to be safer there so that you're not driving up your blood sugar. Another surprising one, these juices. Now, a green drink. I went and pulled one of those. It was a Naked brand, Naked green drink. And everybody's like, oh, that's healthy. It's green. It's got all this veggies and fruit in there. That one small bottle was over 50 grams of sugar. And I would pass these around the audience and just watch people's mouths just drop and go, are you freaking kidding me? This is what I've been drinking. And I had clients that were drinking these things. And some of them had added sugars, but others just had so much fruit in there that straight juice is straight. This is going to spike your blood sugar like crazy. So watch those juices. Look in there. There are green juices. And I'm trying to remember, there's a brand, I think it's like Suja. And they have a green drink. They have a celery juice. They'll have some lemon juice in there. There's 0 fruits added in. And so you're not going to get any sugar. And you will probably take a sip and go pucker your lips and be like, this tastes like crap. Because that's the way that juiced vegetable or that juiced green typically tastes. When you're drinking a green drink that tastes really sweet, you'll see it was at some of the juice shops, one of your 10-ounce glass of juice, and you'll have spinach in there, might have kale, whatever you want. Sometimes we'll have 3 juiced apples in there. And apples higher, a red apple high, and they're using red apples are higher sugar. So we have to think, start paying attention. If you're going to drink a green juice, you need to get the straight green juice with the lemon. Watch those sugars. If you're really tuned in with the flavor of sugar and you need that sweetness, then make your own at home, put a half of an apple in there.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I personally do not know what the low glycemic fruits are and what the high glycemic fruits are. Can you just tell us what are the fruits that we might pick from the produce department that are
Sure.
lower in sugar and maybe like healthier doses of them? Because I know we're not supposed to eat an entire bundle of raspberries, but like,
Right.
what's the right amount of sugar?
Sure. There is no right amount because everybody, again, handles things differently. And even I see on my pH 360 with clients, some might have berries way at the top of their list. I do, you do, activators, antioxidants. We require more. So they're going to be ranked up higher. And I have some where they might be a little bit lower down their list because they have other requirements depending on where their specific body is at the time as well. But your berries are typically they're low glycemic. Lower glycemic means it's a nice slower rise of glucose, like not something that's going to spike you. So like you want that
mango or something that would spike.
Mango, your tropical fruits tend to be higher. Bananas. Now, a green banana, or the more green it is, the less sugar. That's why, like when you make a banana bread, you want those black bananas because they're so sugary and sweet, right? And they give that flavor. When you bite into a green banana, not so sweet. So the sugar content is lower. So some things like that, as they ripen, will have more sugar. The other thing, I got into this with a client the other day where she was eating raisins, which are dried grapes, and dried cranberries on her salad. They're craisins. So if you look at the sugar on a craisins package, again, change your diaper because you're gonna be like, what the hell did I just eat? A boatload of sugar. You can go like Natural Grocers carries a dried cranberry that says it's fruit juice sweetened. It's going to be a bit lower instead of having the regular sugar in there. However, dried fruit as a whole is high glycemic. It's when you're drying these fruits. So banana chips, dried mango, they all taste great because they're super sweet. So think about it, they're a lot sweeter usually than the fruit that they started with.
Like dates.
Small,
I
like
used to love
dates.
having dates for desserts. And I was like, oh, I'm swapping this out for chocolate. And then you told me, like, I don't know. The dates are really, really high sugar.
Yeah, the dates are still going to be sugar. So keep the sugars lower. Start looking at labels. If you don't know, go online. So you're asking like what are glycemic indexes, what are low? You can actually go on and Google because we don't have time today. But if you guys want a podcast on it, we'll do a podcast on it. But you go to Google, and I do this too. Like on my PH360, it actually has glycemic index of each food on there. And so I go to Google and just put in what's the glycemic index of butternut squash, or what's the glycemic index of berries, or you can put in what's a list of low glycemic fruits, low glycemic veggies. Put it in there. It's in there. Reach out to me if you have questions. I'm happy to help. You can reach me on my website. You can reach me through our Facebook group, which you need to come into. It's Everyday Epigenetics, raw, real, relatable chat. Ask questions off of our podcast. That's what we're there for. You can interact with us, give us suggestions. Do you want to see more of something? Let us know. But that's just some quick basics on sugars to get you in tune with what you're buying out there. Look at that sugar count and you'll be shocked how much you're taking in. Anything else you want to say, my friend?
Oh, super informative. I wonder if we should do a bigger podcast on this because I feel
Yeah,
like
we might have to.
there's just so much to say about sugar. I think someday we're going to look back at sugar as like the cigarettes of this generation, and we're going
Oh
to
yeah.
marvel at how much of it we all took in.
Well, if you just look at the amount of disease out there, and sugar is just hugely inflammatory. And again, we're all different in the amounts that we tolerate. But I always say that there is no one size fits all recommendation for everybody. However, when it comes to sugar, I say that is my one: sugar and alcohol. And I won't get into the booze now, but the sugar, the lower the better for everybody because it is such a cause of dis-ease, therefore disease and inflammation in the body.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. See you next week. Get out there, make it a great day, and be your most authentic selves.
Thank you so much for tuning into our podcast.
If you enjoyed this week's episode, we'd love for you to share it, leave a review or comment, and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Help us get this information out to everyone who could benefit, and we'll keep bringing you the content you crave.
You can also check out our podcast site at everydayepigenetics.co and sign up for our newsletter to stay updated on upcoming episodes. The link is in the show notes.
If you're interested in DNA or epigenetic coaching with Susan, or Radiant Life Coaching for deep inner work with Kate, our contact info is in the show notes below.
Now go and make it a great day and let your most authentic self shine.